I said, hey, yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Maharos, and we're back with another video. Hope you guys are doing well. Today, we're going to be talking about XRP sentiment, XRP charts, and the XRP hack. A lot of people want to know what happened. I'm going to give you guys all the information you need to know. But yesterday, there was a hack that took place. Chris Larson's personal XRP wallet was compromised. And you can basically see him talking about it here. And he says, yesterday it was unauthorized access of a few personal XRP accounts. And he pretty much just talks about how this is not involving Ripple, which everybody just quickly jumped to. And again, this all started from Zach XPT. He says, it appears Ripple was hacked for 213 million. And then, he says it appears, which can be an honest mistake. But Brad Garlinghouse also quote tweets Chris, and basically confirms that Ripple wallets were not hacked at all, right? So that clears up that. It was Chris Larson's personal wallet. And right now, as you can see, he makes it very, very clear because he capitalizes no. He says, given some irresponsible speculation and reporting, I want to reiterate that no Ripple managed wallets were compromised, period, full stop, period, right? So he really makes his point, and it's kind of funny because, again, it's just like so easy to kind of catch traction with anything you say sometimes on Twitter. But again, it's good here that we did see some type of confirmation. But again, this is nothing new, guys. I mean, what can you expect, right? You do have a lot of panic here that takes place, right? A lot of people sell off. And then, of course, price bounces back up. Does this continue to hold? That'll be a question for a later time. But looking on chain, what do we see? Very good signs. So this is coming in from Sentiment, who's an on-chain data analytics company. They say, after an altcoin slide on Wednesday, the XRP ledger is at risk of falling below 50 cents for the first time since October 19th. Interestingly, however, yesterday had the most XRP $1 million plus whale transactions on the network, 217, since prices skyrocketed after a judge ruling that no security laws were violated by Ripple back on July 13th and 14th, when basically XRP was deemed a non-security. And it says, additionally, we don't see any panic coming from whales. Yesterday, wallets holding at least 10 million XRP combined to hold 67.2% of the available supply, and the most since December 31, 2022. You can see here, this is very, very interesting the way they put it together. 217 separate XRP transactions exceeding 1 million plus, the most we've seen since July 14th, 2023. Of course, because as soon as that ruling took place, we saw many people just buying all at once. And that kind of led to a massive spike that pretty much is not on this chart, or is it? Yeah, actually, it's behind here. They should have just brought it in. But anyways, it's very interesting to see that on-chain activity is showing mass conviction from whales. Meanwhile, we look at the overall trend here from the herd or the retail side of things, and we see a lot of people just panicking and selling massive amounts of XRP at this level. So I just believe that because all the whales are buying up the panic at this moment, we're probably going to see some type of rally heading back up. But again, I don't want to get too ahead of myself just yet. You guys are going to get ready for the charts in just a moment, and I'm going to be talking about why I believe we're in an interesting zone. But just to be clear, I've been holding XRP for literally since, like, God knows how long, since 2017. A lot of the FUD that we see today, the stuff that you see on Twitter about this and that, Ripple centralized, this is centralized, or XRP is centralized, which again, it's kind of funny when people say Ripple is centralized because yes, Ripple is a private company. Of course it's centralized. And XRP itself, it's kind of interesting. But at the same time, like, I just continue to be on the right side of history simply because if you just look at what's going on in the marketplace and you stick to the facts, you use data, logic, and reason, you'll come to the conclusion that XRP is a very valuable asset. It has a lot of course, flaws, but it's designed for payment. So when you understand that and you understand what's going on, especially the massive corruption that takes place with the SEC, you can clearly see again, not being scared 3 days after a lawsuit when everybody was panicking. Lots of drama around XRP being a security buy. Don't think it'll be classified as being a security, and I will continue to keep adding 3 days after the lawsuit, after everybody was shitting themselves. I just doubled down on it, and I just believe that as the ledger progresses, as people continue to grow, and the market continues to grow, I think all that shit will be phased out. And as we watch it, a lot of the FUD that used to exist doesn't exist anymore, which is already a good sign. But it doesn't mean you still don't get FUD, right? I mean, FUD is a good thing sometimes. In chaos, there is opportunity. And we have two amendments here that are pending. Both of them, in my opinion, are bigger like than anything we've seen. NFTs kind of have flopped, which is a function on the XRP ledger. You can have mint NFTs, but that hype cycle is over, guys. No one wants NFTs anymore. But clawback is very, very important simply because it's going to allow for stable coins to exist on the XRP ledger, right? So you have your DAI, you have your USDC, your USDT. These guys are going to be able to issue on the XRP ledger, uh, which is again very, very good because again, XRP was designed for payments, such low fees, fast, reliable, and over 10 million ledgers closed. So we'll see what happens. But at the same time, I am excited for this one. I think it's underrated. A lot of people are not talking about this callback feature. And then you also have AMM, which kind of allows for more of this DeFi, function where you can kind of interact with pools, act as an LP, farm stuff like that. I'm sure there'll be other things that we can see come out of this AMM amendment. But again, at the same time, it's going to be just a matter of waiting it out and seeing what exactly is going to take place in this market. But this is very good because it's going to help developers have more tools at their disposal. But at the same time, the development activity did fall for XRP, so that's not really a great sign. But we're hoping that, hey, listen, with these types of amendments coming out, there may be an opportunity to grow as a ledger, right? And as a community, because that's going to be the number one thing that drives innovation here, right? Because, if no one's building, then what the hell is the point, right? We need to have builders on the network so that they can offer products that people want to use, which in turn allows the XRP ledger to continue thriving. But jumping into the charts, guys, this is XRP going sideways for 2,219 days. Yes, it doesn't feel like it's been going sideways, but it actually, in fact, is, right? And what you want to watch out here for is, guys, is this low, right? This is the kind of low that I'm watching out for. This is the main area that I'm watching for. I do not want to see XRP go below here, but again, it will be interesting because this is a very nice range and volatility is essentially squeezing, right? So if you were to compress the data here, you would basically see that XRP for the most part is squeezing. Now, again, I drew over these wicks because if you kind of scrunch the data up, you can kind of see that, kind of filters that out if you really scrunch it down. But the idea is that volatility is pretty much, getting smaller and smaller, right? As you come slowly down this triangle, you're noticing that these circles are getting smaller, right? And basically, what this means is that eventually, when this breaks out, whichever way it decides to break out, and I believe it's to the upside, it's going to have a massive, massive breakout, right? And I don't think that this can continue chopping here. I don't believe that if we do break lower here, that it's gonna, um, you know, like come back up again, like the way we think. I think if it breaks down, that's a very, very worrying sign. I do not want to see a breakdown. That may be a very, very bad thing for this chart. But at the same time, we'll have to see how it ages because these charts are gonna be very, very like I want to say interesting simply because we've never seen a coin that has lasted since 2017 that is in a range for 200 or 2,219 days, right? 2,200 days of just ranging sideways. There's just no chart in the crypto that exists like this, right? Most charts that have failed to make a new high have completely just tumbled over, right? They've already made new lows. Meanwhile, XRP has not even touched the low from 2022 here, right? So it is very interesting all in all. But at the same time, I circle back to this chart, which is basically, in my opinion, the most important chart for XRP. Because as you can see here, this green box has either acted as a resistance or it has acted as a support. And guys, right now we are sitting back at this level. And the real question is, do we hold it? And that's why I keep saying, if we break down, that may be a real cause for concern. I do not want to see a breakdown. That would be a very bad thing. because again, it goes back to what I was saying here. This is a big range that is pretty much scrunching up as a triangle. The volatility is getting shorter or smaller and smaller, which means that if this breaks down, then we're most likely going to see it break down for a while, right? It's probably going to take a year for it to recover, back above this level, right? But as long as we're trading above green, guys, that's probably the most bullish thing you can ask for. Simply because when pretty much price is trading above green and it acts as a support, we're pretty much bouncing off of this level. So right now we are bouncing off this level, and I do hope to see some type of bounce off of this level. But again, it's getting very close here to this low. We do not want to see it go lower than this because that would be a real cause for concern. But at the same time, we saw a lot of good things in terms of on-chain activity, whales buying up. We saw, again, the panic from retail selling their bags because of a hack that pretty much didn't really do too much to the price here. But again, it is very interesting because when you look across the market, this is the last time, Bitcoin has dumped the way it has in terms of dominance. We're looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart from December 2020 all the way to May 2021. You saw a massive drop here in Bitcoin dominance, which led to the alt season. And right now, it looks like to me Bitcoin is kind of chopping along here. And as it chops here, I don't know exactly what the structure is going to look like, but I do believe that we're in some sort of, correction that is going to lead us to a bigger dump here, right? The same way that we saw this level is probably what we're going to see here, right? So, this one is a little bit steeper, but this may also have a bigger drop later on. So this is a game of patience, a game of waiting it out. But at the same time, when you combine this with stablecoin dominance, I do believe that we are going to see this drop as well. And stablecoins are pretty much a very good indication for when alt season can take place. Because back over here in 2021, from January to May, the same way Bitcoin dominance fell, stablecoin dominance went sideways. So if we can expect that same type of reaction right now for 2024, as altcoins have stabled out and phased here, we could probably see total go on a rampage here, which I do believe is going to continue happening. And again, it will be just a matter of patience because we are holding the 8 EMA here. And if you look back over here in 2020, before this breakout took place, look, what's the most common trend? It's the 8 EMA on the weekly, right? I make this very easy for you guys so you can follow along, right? 8 EMA, which is your blue little line, just following upwards, right? Sure, we might have some pokes below it, but the idea overall is to hold above it and continue going up. And right now we are holding it, and I believe we're going to continue to go up. So just a matter of patience, guys. And a lot of us are going to get shaken out. A lot of us will be worried about what's happening next. But I'm not going to be dumping or even thinking about dumping my XRP unless we see a massive sell-off and I probably sell into a retracement. But right now, I just don't see a reason to be concerned. I don't see a reason for people to panic. But again, as long as we're holding green, guys, I know last month I expected a bigger move to the upside, but I was wrong. And that's a part of the game, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. At the same time of being wrong, you must position yourself and understand where your exits and entry points are. But everybody has their own strategy. So I cannot tell you what to do because I've been in this market for over 7 years now. And I don't want to sit there and advise you guys on what exactly, you should be doing because all of us think differently, have different strategies. And, I don't only hold XRP. My bag is pretty much diversified. I hold many different shitcoins, but I think XRP is a special one that is going to definitely do very well. But right now, in terms of the chart, hey, listen, I'm all for it. Let's continue to hold above this 50-cent level. It can go a little bit lower. So we'll see what happens. But even if I was to psychoanalyze, like really go crazy, like this is clear hidden bullish divergence, right? Like you know what I mean? So we're probably gonna see a bounce right here, probably. But again, I don't want to go too much into the weeds on that. This is definitely going to be fun to watch, especially as the price chops here, right? I mean, what narrative is going to come that sends XRP to all-time highs? I don't know exactly, but you guys understand that my targets are pretty much the length of this first leg up because I don't expect it to run the same way it did back then. So probably around $11, probably going to be your high all day from the low over here from 2022. So somewhere around $11 is probably going to be a good take profit zone. $10 is going to be a big even. Those are my targets. I'm being very patient. I'm just gonna wait it out and see exactly what happens. But with that, I appreciate you guys for making it to the end. Like and subscribe if you have not already. And as always, haro haro haro.